Welcome to the California Maverick, a channel fighting for a free and sane California. Well. Another high-ranking California Democrat gets caught up in misappropriating campaign funds. Cue Brian from Family Guy.
Well.
It's the same pattern every time. Money meant for campaigns or communities in need somehow end up flowing into the pockets of massive law firms or political insiders. And this time it's another person close to Governor Gavin Newsom, and it's California Attorney General Rob Bonta.
Tonight we're learning Rob Bonta has spent a lot of his own campaign cash on legal help amid a federal bribery investigation. His campaign is saying that the money is to help with that investigation, but this is the first time we're hearing about this now 10 months after that investigation started. 2 days before announcing he would not run for California governor and seek re-election for Attorney General. This was in February. Campaign finance records show he made 5 payments to a private law firm totaling $468,000. That law firm, Wilson, Sonsini, Goodrich, and Rosati, has a wide range of services, including legal help with government investigations and white-collar crime. Bonta's campaign confirmed the payments were for legal help with the ongoing federal bribery investigation that's happening in the East Bay. That's the investigation in which Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao, the ex-mayor there, and a family full of business people known as the Duongs were indicted earlier this year.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta was found to have spent $468,000 in campaign funds on legal fees last year. These payments went to a law firm, Wilson, Sonsini, Goodrich, and Rosati, all amid a federal bribery investigation involving a removed and recalled Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao and the Duong family. Now here's the thing. Bonta himself wasn't even charged, and he wasn't even named as a subject of the investigation. However, he pulled money out of his 2026 re-election campaign account, which held over $6 million, and made 5 payments labeled as professional services, legal/accounting. At first, he explained that it was just to hire lawyers to help the investigators with their investigation. Later on, he changed it and said it was for legal counsel during the questioning. So what is it? Was it to help out the investigation, or was it to seek legal counsel while you were being questioned about the investigation?
We're following up with legal experts and California Attorney General Rob Bonta tonight. The AG facing several questions after his campaign spent nearly $500,000 on legal help amid a federal bribery investigation. KCRA 3 political director Ashley Zavala was the first to report this, and why some say the use of the money may be against the law. Ashley?
Lisa, after pushing for answers, we're getting a little more clarity when it comes to the $468,000 that Attorney General Rob Bonta spent from his re-election campaign on legal services and fees. His campaign clarifying tonight that this money was used for him to lawyer up as he faced questions from federal authorities. We're also learning tonight this is a historic amount of money spent on legal services by a candidate in California, not just for Attorney General, but for any statewide constitutional office here in the state. Bonta's campaign told us at first the money was to help federal authorities in their bribery investigation in the East Bay, which involved Oakland's ex-mayor and the Duong family, which were also Bonta's donors. I followed up with this campaign today with several questions, including confirmation that the law firm he paid was representing him as he answered questions from federal investigators. His campaign has confirmed. His advisor, Dan Newman, said he was not a target in the investigation, that he was just providing information, and that's what the attorneys were for. Newman keeps saying that the ongoing investigation, they can't say much because, again, it is ongoing, but at the same time, he told me today that Bonta's role in that investigation is over.
Hey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It helps me out a lot, and I will greatly appreciate it. Now on to the video. Now here's where things make you want to scratch your head and start to ask questions. California's Fair Political Practice Commission says campaign funds can be used for legal expenses. However, only if they're connected to campaign interference, election ballot language challenges, recounts, or defamation tied to a campaign. This whole federal bribery investigation case doesn't fit any of those categories. But this isn't the first time politicians here in California have used campaign funds for legal fees. Governor Newsom, Alex Padilla, the state treasurer, the lieutenant governor have all used campaign funds for legal counsel. But no one in California history has spent $500,000 while not being charged with anything.
Another question in all of this is it legal? Is this a permissible use of campaign funds in California? Bonta's advisor said this was absolutely proper and necessary to use the funds because of the nature of the charges against the people implicated in that Oakland bribery probe. I checked in with Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson, who noted campaign legal expenses are meant to be related directly to the campaign itself. Typically, that money is used, for example, to request a recount in an election or to litigate how a candidate's name or title is seen on the ballot. Here's what she had to say when it comes to Bonta's situation.
In this case, the only connection that I can see right now between the AG's election and the legal investigation and proceedings would be whether or not the investigation initially began with questions about the Duong's donations to the AG account. What you would need in order to be able to draw that legal line between the political account, the committee to run to be AG, and these big legal expenses is some connection between that account, the reason that Bonta is running to be AG, and the legal expenses. In this case, I think the best argument that Bonta could make for how these expenses would be permissible is to say that the investigation and or questions originally began based on the Duong's campaign donations to that AG account.
Now here's where I wish I had way more resources and time, but unfortunately I just don't. I did a little digging into the law firm Rob Bonta used, Wilson Sonsini, and this isn't your average law firm. It's a $1 billion global law firm that is based in Silicon Valley, and it has ties and represented some tech giants here in California. Apple, Google, LinkedIn, Microsoft, Twitter, now X. And I found that they actually specialize in business and securities law, venture capital, intellectual property, tech, and biotech. So this isn't the kind of firm anyone hires to investigate a bribery case involving an Oakland mayor. This law firm deals with corporate securities, stock offerings, investment banking. So why did he choose them? And why did he spend nearly $500,000 on a firm whose core expertise lines up with corporate ESG policies, SEC level securities oversight, green energy investment structures, venture capital and private equity regulation? Again, is that really the team you call for a mayor bribery scandal that you aren't even being investigated for? It just doesn't seem to add up. And I'm not going to sit here and claim anything, but where there's smoke, there's fire, especially with these Democrat politicians. Wilson Sonsini has direct involvement in California environmental legislation, particularly SB 261, California Senate Bill 261, which deals with emissions disclosures and ESG reporting for corporations. They work with tech, private equity, and renewable energy focused firms, the very same sectors California lawmakers love to subsidize and use government funds to invest in. I just made a video talking about how California's largest pension fund, CalPERS, lost $478 million in green energy private equity. Now, if they did what all pension funds do and what they normally do and what they've been doing for decades, invested in the S&P 500, they would have generated over $3 billion. So when the Attorney General hires a powerhouse law firm that specializes in securities in the middle of a political bribery scandal that's tied to ESG legislation and green energy and spending the highest dollar amount in California history, I think it's fair to ask some questions. Something about this whole thing just doesn't pass the smell test. Do you know what I mean? And this is the problem with California politics and California government in general. Nothing ever gets resolved. Investigations disappear, questions never get answered, scandals get buried, some mid-level staffer or chief of staff takes the blame, and the politicians just get to walk away. And then they fail upward and get elected to another position with more power. It's very similar to Gavin Newsom's ex-staffer who was federally indicted for misusing campaign funds using a dormant account that was once tied to another Attorney General, former Attorney General Javier Becerra. And of course, Newsom and Becerra deny any type of involvement and are completely absolved of any type of investigation or accusations. And now you have Eric Swalwell, a California representative in the House of Representatives in DC, who was having an affair or dating a spy for the Chinese Communist Party. You can't make any of this up. I feel like DJ Khaled in one of his songs.
Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one. And another one.
And yet, we keep voting and promoting these people. California politicians will continue to lie, cheat, steal, funnel money, and abuse you until something changes. We have to stop sticking our heads in the sand. We have to stop using whataboutisms and start taking accountability for our actions. Otherwise, these politicians will continue to gaslight you, steal from you, and then call themselves public servants. And like I've said before, unless we want things to change, we have to change. If you like this video, leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.